Hi guys, today I'm talking about the parable of the 10 bridesmaids in Matthew 25, 1 through 13. At that time the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 bridesmaids who took their lamps and went to wait for the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish and 5 were wise. The 5 foolish bridesmaids took their lamps, but they did not take more oil for the lamps to burn. The wise bridesmaids took their lamps and more oil in the jars. Because the bridegroom was late, they became sleepy and went to sleep. At midnight someone cried out, "The bridegroom is coming, come and meet him." Then all the bridesmaids woke up and got their lamps ready. But the foolish ones said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, because our lamps are going out." The wise bridesmaids answered, "No, the oil we might not be enough for all of us. Go to the people who sell oil and buy some for yourselves." So while the 5 foolish bridesmaids went to buy oil, the bridegroom came. The bridesmaids who were ready went in with the bridegroom to the wedding feast. Then the door was closed and locked. Later the others came back and said, "Sir, sir, open the door to let us in." But the bridegroom answered, "I tell you the truth, I don't know you." So always be ready, because you don't know the day or the hour the Son of Man will come. So the context of this is Jesus is teaching about the last days, about the second coming, about eschatology, and he's saying even the Son of Man doesn't know the day or the hour he's gonna return, so we have to be ready. And the oil is represented as the Holy Spirit, and the bridesmaid is the church, and the groom is Christ coming back to the bride. And so when we are low on the Holy Spirit, we're not going to be ready for when Jesus returns. And these brides, the foolish brides, were low on the Holy Spirit, so they fell asleep. If we are not empowered by the Holy Spirit, we are in slumber, we are in sleep, because the Holy Spirit is the one who wakes us up from that sleep, who raises dead things to life and breathes on dry bones to come alive. And the Holy Spirit is also the one that convicts us and leads us to Jesus, who continually works in our life and refines us to be formed in the image of God. In 2 Peter 3:11 through 13 it says, "In that way everything will be destroyed. So what kind of people should you be? You should live holy lives and serve God, as you wait for and look forward to the coming of the day of God. When that day comes, the skies will be destroyed with fire, and everything in them will melt with heat. But God made a promise to us, and we are waiting for a new heaven and a new earth where goodness lives." Dear friends, since you are waiting for this to happen, do your best to be without sin and without fault. Try to be at peace with God. So how can we live without sin and without fault, being prepared for the day Jesus comes? We have to be filled with the Holy Spirit. We cannot just get rid of our sin in our own strength. It's the power and the work of the Holy Spirit in us. And so it's just like we have to be filled with the Holy Spirit to be prepared. And for example, it's like if we're having a messy room all the time, we don't know when the RAs are going to come check our rooms, and we're going to get that checklist and be like, "Oh, there was a room check because my room was dirty. I got this checklist." But if our room isn't dirty, we won't get a checklist, and we won't even know there's a room check. So we just have to be continually cleansing our hearts, making sure we have pure heart and clean hands before God through the power of the Holy Spirit, so that we will be ready. We'll be ready, and we'll have the rooms of our hearts cleaned up, so whenever Jesus comes, we won't be caught red-handed or like a deer in the headlights, but we will be purified before Him through the power of the Holy Spirit, through the fire of the Holy Spirit, the refiner's fire. And so, yeah, just remember to continually be filled with the Holy Spirit, so you will be ready for the day Jesus returns. Hope you got something from that you didn't know before, and have a good night.